Lâu, lâu, lâu,
lâu
lâu, 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 lâu. Sí, esa llamada no sé. Hello, Michael.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, Michael. This is Walter with Certain Pro Painters. Um, Doing great. Thanks for asking. How about yourself?
I'm good.
Good, good. Is this still a good time to talk about the position for the
Yeah, that's
resident
fine.
sales associate? Great, great. Thank you for your patience. Believe you had a call scheduled with Sergio. Scheduled. It was got pretty busy, so I'm going to be assisting in this part of the interview process. So thank you for allowing us this time to interview you. What we want to go ahead and do is just tell you the purpose of the call is a chance for us to ask you a couple questions based on what we saw on the resume off from Indeed. We'll go ahead and tell you about the company, about the position itself. The call we usually say takes about give or take 20 minutes, but it'll also give you a chance to learn more about the position. And at the end of the call, if we decide if it makes sense mutually, we can discuss next steps moving forward. Sound good?
Okay. Yep.
Great, great. So for the most part, we just start off by asking, tell me a little bit about yourself, Michael, and what would you say is kind of gained interest in what you saw in the job description?
I'm just looking for something new and a little bit safer than what I do now. With around the same pay, really.
Right. Would you say just kind of being able to use, what you gain in your background, whether it's on the sales side, customer service, things like that?
Yeah.
That's great. Anything specific that kind of stood out besides, like you said, the pay itself kind of was the range you're looking for?
The benefits definitely is a big plus.
Okay. Great, great.
Because I don't have any benefits at this job, so.
Okay, and this would be at being a sales associate / technician.
Yeah.
Okay, so still currently working there?
Door. Yeah.
Great. And we'll just based on that, since you're still currently working, what would you say your timeline would be to kind of make a transition if offered a new role?
It's all commission, so it should, I'll give them a week. It's not a big deal.
Okay, and you said that's kind of what your commissions in this role?
Yeah.
Okay. Just to kind of give them a notice, tell them that that you found something else should be adequate.
I mean, he's a friend of mine, so.
Okay.
It's a little bit easier.
Well, you kind of go either way. You may be upset while you're leaving, but at the same time, but maybe you guys, have a good relationship. It shouldn't be much of a issue there. But okay, great. Well, thank you for sharing that. And just for the most part, like you mentioned, we want to go ahead and just ask you a couple questions based on that. What your needs would be, and as I tell you about the role itself. So the pay itself is something that you're familiar with, working on commission based. With that being said, actually, can you tell me a little bit about kind of what you do in your day-to-day role there?
Follow up with the scheduled appointments, get to the house, assess whatever needs to be done, and then sell that customer on repairs plus preventative maintenance usually on
Mostly, would
top
you
of
say
that.
would be any new garage door sales?
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah.
All the time. Try to push upsell, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's where the big money is. Door sales. So.
Great. And like I said, that would help on the commission side. And then like you said, for the most part, just would most of these leads be self-generated through the company, a little bit of both?
Yeah. It's all through the company, these ones.
Great. What would you say would be the reason you're kind of looking for to change?
Just something a little bit safer. My job is extremely dangerous.
Looking for something more safer.
Yeah,
garage doors themselves can actually be dangerous just based on the tension on the springs and
yeah, especially fixing those all day long.
So I can
one wrong move, you lose a thumb or a hand or.
Yeah, that's one of the things I actually tried to help out a buddy of mine a while back, trying to change it and got it fixed, but there was a certain point where
it's not tough. It's just scary,
Yeah, I could see that, but yeah, like you said, just kind of looking for something, of course, a little bit on the different side, or what would you say would be kind of relatable experience based on what you saw in the job description?
I mean, it's still going to people's houses, going over the product, and attempting to upsell. Yeah, pretty relatable.
Kind of has that.
All sales are pretty much, the same.
That core fundamental of asking customers or clients, finding out what their needs are.
Yeah,
building
exactly.
that rapport,
building value.
Good. So for the most part, understand that the process itself.
And I've done a lot of sales training for people, so
feel comfortable with that itself. Yeah. When it comes to being goal oriented, or a company kind of sets certain metrics, how do you feel about that?
I love that. Prefer that, actually.
That's good. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that? Just kind of, what would you say you kind of like about that?
That's like gives me something to reach towards. I don't know, it's like a competitive thing. Like what we do now at our place is we all kind of compete against each other. Whoever gets the highest every month.
Kind of have that.
We did it for ourselves. The company doesn't really do it, but
that teamwork, but still kind of competitive.
Yeah.
Amongst each other.
Oh yeah, we're at each other's throats all the time.
Sports minded, you would say. That's good. And sometimes it does. Like it kind of keeps everybody on their toes. Of course, they push themselves a little bit more, just trying to be the best this week, the month, or however you guys set your those goals. But it's good. With that being said, in regards to as you're kind of looking for different postings in a company, what would you say is kind of what you look for within the company?
There's a few things. Flexibility. Just because I'm a single dad, 2 kids. So I have an emergency, I don't want somebody to be yelling at me if I have to go get my kids,
Okay. No,
they come first no matter what.
Would you say just kind of more for like based on the school schedule, things like that?
Yeah, school schedules, that's printed out ahead of time, so that's not a big deal. I can always request anything I need, but I'm saying like if one gets hurt at school, because it does happen.
They get sick or you have to kind of pick them up.
Yeah,
things like that.
Exactly.
I completely understand. I myself, it's kind of the same thing. Single dad with 2 teenage daughters that I have to one to one softball practice and the other one they're just kind of hanging out with some friends after school. So can understand the driving.
Yeah.
With that being said, just what would you say besides culture? Things that you kind of look for, things that you saw in different companies before that you don't really want to see again?
I don't really like hardcore corporate aspects of companies. I like it to be a little bit more family oriented. I know it's hard to find nowadays.
Mm-hmm. No, but it makes sense. Kind of have that family oriented style.
Yeah, I mean, this company was family oriented, and then we just got bought out by a company So, you got to do all the rules and regulations, and which is normal, but, it gets tiring. I've been corporate for a long time, so.
Kind of looking out for a new venture for the most part.
Yeah.
Great. When it comes to, I would say,
I like growth a lot too. Like if we could grow with the company, that'd be awesome. Because I get bored fast, honestly. So I'm being completely honest with you.
No,
I learn things extremely fast. I get very good extremely fast.
For the most part, it's something that, and when it comes to, being in that kind of sales mentality of always on the go, being competitive, having that drive, so it's just kind of natural to, kind of stay moving forward, progressing.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the things you kind of look for is just, for the most part, someone that's going to be able to do estimates, have that experience. I know the similar role with, the garage stores. Can you just give me an example of?
Yeah, I mean, I do estimates all day long. I've done them before when I worked at car dealerships. It's the same everywhere. I don't know if you guys use like a tablet, or I don't know what service you guys use. Do you have a specific app you guys use, or?
Yes, for the most part, glad that you brought that up, because we're with technology itself kind of advancing. We always want to try to be, one step ahead, be proactive rather than reactive. Like you mentioned, yes, there is a tablet associated with the role, based on the CRM. You feel pretty comfortable. Since you worked with some of these before.
Yeah, I've worked with a few. Yeah.
And if I were to say 1,000, it would probably be on the low end. So many different softwares, different CRMs. For the most part, they're just meant to make everything easier. Of course, they're all going to have their own niche, their own different way of depending, of course, the product itself. But you feel comfortable, just, you would say, kind of learning after using it a couple times.
Oh yeah. Most of the time, it's usually like a couple of days, and I'll have the whole app down, no problem.
That's good. One of the things we also kind of look for is, like I mentioned, someone that's going to be customer-centric approach. Build relationships. Have great communication. Of course, this position itself needs someone high attention to detail. Of course.
Yeah.
Work with the painting crews, for the most part. So just kind of be able to communicate not just with the customer, but also with the painting crews. Things like that, based on what we saw on the resume. Since you've been in management positions, supervisor position, feel pretty comfortable kind of delegating, leading teams, things like that.
Yeah.
Great.
Also, to make you feel better, the job I'm at now, I just technically got a promotion. It's not really a promotion, but it's over multiple guys. But I just go back after they go out and just double check everything, just to make sure they did it right. Everything's lined up, no bolts are loose, stuff like that.
Kind of make sure everything is buttoned up towards the end.
Yeah,
everything's great. Make sure customers
they call me the fixer, so.
That's a good title. And as I said, for the most part, that's good. Kind of being able to having that high attention to detail, looking for someone to work individually at the same time with the team. That's kind of what we're looking for. Someone with sales-oriented background, estimating. I know it's one of the important things that we're always looking for with that. That go-getter, that's driven. You mentioned, you get bored pretty quick. So I always wanted to kind of look for the next, challenge, the next thing to kind of work on. It's progression, which is great.
Yeah, exactly.
When it comes to on the financial side, let me ask you, based on what you saw in the job description, do you feel that's something that you feel comfortable with?
If I remember correctly, it was what, 60 to 110 or something like that?
Yes. So it kind of gives it a different role, a high margin of from 60 to about 100, 110, just kind of based on, it does have uncapped commission. What we feel is kind of that first year, income potential.
Yeah.
just kind of depends on how fast they pick up. Once they kind of get into the rhythm of things, it might start off a little bit slower, then eventually kind of gradually, build up. There's going to be a base salary range that we do feel. This is just kind of based on experience, and that can be discussed a little bit more in detail as we move forward through the interview process, between 30 to 60, and then the commission will just kind of be added to that. Well,
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, because right now I can make more, obviously, if I want to. But I average I would say 90 to 110 usually.
Okay, so just kind of like you said, just kind of based on the commission, would you say?
Yeah,
That range from there. But that's good, because at the end of you already kind of have that mindset of going into the new position, commission based, kind of going out there and not selling just, of course, base salary, but already having that mentality of this is kind of my range that I'm looking for.
Yeah, I mean, you make your own check. I like to tell everybody.
For the most part, one of the final things we ask is position itself, of course, as a company vehicle, valid driver's license that can pass a background check. Also,
I drive a company truck now, so.
Drive a company. Okay. What I'm going to go ahead and do, Michael, is I'll tell you a little about CertaPro and about the role itself. And then if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Okay.
CertaPros, painters of Duluth, is looking for somebody, for the most part, that's going to be, like I mentioned, driven, that sales, customer-centric approach. We're a customer-focused company where we want to make sure that, the employees and the staff is, the hard work is valued and rewarded. It's kind of what we feel we have that uncapped commission. So somebody that has that energy and that drive, that willingness to go out there, will help out. We are kind of what you were looking for, family-based company. This particular location, this franchise, is owned by a husband and wife team. They're actually looking for someone that kind of comes in and wants to kind of work with that, like you mentioned, not that corporate center environment, but more just kind of that locally owned, able to provide the service to the community and just be a part of it and grow within the company.
Yeah.
So CertaPro Painters is a leader in residential and commercial painting. I'm just looking for someone to thrive in this role. We do have supportive culture that encourages, like I mentioned, growth, providing top-notch training, and then also offering unlimited earning potential. One of the key things that we look for is, like we mentioned, someone that high organizational skills, able to kind of be, in a sense, coach in a certain sense that we have a CertaPro way of training. We understand, having that sales background from things that you've learned throughout your career, still able to, apply certain methods, things that work for you, and just kind of contribute to the company's growth. There might be a time where, you might be asked to kind of offer some assistance, but at the same time also feel comfortable knowing that you might be also asked. Be self-motivated, driven by success.
Yeah, I like
someone that kind of to bring, hard work. When it comes to scheduling, for the most part, we do want to kind of stay structured, but it would require working an occasional evening, weekend, just kind of depends on a certain customer. Let's say if it's going to be someone that all week, based on the work schedule, can only meet Saturday mid-morning, things like that.
Yeah, Saturdays are fine. I can work every week. That's not a big deal. My biggest issue is I cannot really do past 5:45. So I have to get my kids. Yeah.
No, and that's actually great. Thank you for sharing that, because we understand in regards to having that work-life balance, like you mentioned, being a single dad, with the kids. So that's great. Thank you for letting us know. And there's ways to work around it. We understand, work is work, but if there's ways that we can kind of make it work based on that schedule, it's better to know now rather than later down the road.
Exactly.
Thank you for sharing that.
No, I wouldn't put that on somebody.
Good. We talked about the pay, kind of worked at no benefits or something that you kind of were looking for. So we do offer benefits, company vehicle, excuse me. Like we mentioned, Monday through Friday, weekends is needed. Just kind of like we mentioned, based on customer scheduling. And for the most part, just looking for someone that's driven and you kind of feel that is hungry, ready to take on this challenge. With having that previous sales experience, even supervised management, see some good qualities, Michael. But based on the information we've gone over with today, on today's phone interview, job description that you saw on Indeed, do you feel this is something you kind of see yourself doing?
Yeah, I'm actually a lot more interested now that I've had this phone call with you.
Great, that's good. Good to hear. With that being said, the next step in the interview process is I'm going to send out what's called a Spark Hire application. So basically what this is, it's going to continue the interview, but it'll be a one-way interview, which means you'll be asked about 8 questions. Questions are going to range from, what excites you about the role, what previous experience, would make you the best candidate, short-term, long-term goals, things like that. It will be sent out to your email. The one that we see on file is mg122092@gmail.com. Is that the best email?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm actually going to send this out to you right now. And these questions will be recorded via, you can either use a computer camera or a phone that has a front-facing camera. The best way I can kind of explain this is kind of record your responses. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes. I had to do this myself. It was something fairly new that, we started using, and it's helped out, as we kind of go through candidates. I always say, make the most of it, treat it like a normal interview, no loud noises, disruptions in the background. And just kind of, like I said, just kind of have fun with it. That's probably the best way to approach it. The only thing is this link does expire in about 48 hours. Would you say you'd be able to complete this by Friday evening?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Great. Just in case, if you can't, we understand life happens, situations, feel free to reach out to me at this number. And then as I email you, my contact information will be on the email as well. And just kind of say, Walter, I tried doing the Spark Hire, the link expired. All I would have to do is resubmit it, so then it'll just kind of restart that 48-hour link.
Gotcha. Okay.
Let me see what else. That being said, once that Spark Hire is completed, we'll get a confirmation, and then I will follow back up with you or our associate Sergio to discuss next steps moving forward.
Okay, sounds good.
Great. Thank you so much, Michael. Appreciate your patience.
Thank you
for allowing us to take the call. And any questions you might have for me at the moment?
No, I'm good though. Thank you.
Great. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and hopefully we'll talk soon.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.